accepted a plea.
Why would you accept a plea if you're not guilty?
An officer chasing a parolee on foot. They're both down.
I talked to him and thanked him for trying to save my life.
Governor, is this your legacy project?
This is doing what we need to do.
He said, yeah, terrorist, go to hell.
I ain't killed nobody in no parking lot.
But you've tried to kill someone before.
Yeah, maybe I did. Yeah, in Hutchinson I did.
Your hand in the air.
And I looked over and I saw an officer with a shotgun drawn, pointing at us.
No, this right here, I didn't do nothing.
You didn't do anything?
I didn't commit no murder.
As flames chew through terrain inch by inch, the butte fire continues to burn.
Have you found anybody alive up there that stayed back?
Hundreds more firefighters are on the front lines of the Valley Fire.
Cal Fire, y'all know we got y'all back, man. Get a line back here. Get a line back here. No.
It was time for me to wake up and do what I needed to do to take care of my children, no matter what it took.
If a smoke alarm went off, would her two children still be alive?
It's the saddest story ever because it's preventable.
On this Halloween night, we're taking you where many locals dare not to go. Could there be life after death? We've had quite a few looming questions.
There's life and death going on all around you all the time.
Released last December by the district. Here's what it found. Stephanie and Eric, what do you notice over my shoulder here? You see the beautiful Sacramento skyline. Well, tonight we are talking about the reality.
The separatists have their eyes fixed on 13 counties in all, the entire northern block of California. They say they don't need all of them. If they get fewer, even 9 counties, as long as they can draw a state border around them, they'll try to do it.
But even if they get all of those counties, they will still have to come here to the steps of the state capitol in Sacramento to ask the legislature to approve statehood for Jefferson.
The first 911 calls came from cars passing by on the freeway. We don't know what started this fire yet, but we do know where it started, on the other side of this sound wall. It jumped the wall and began chewing into homes just adjacent.
And if the idea of a 5-year-old girl wandering off alone is disturbing, it's what happened next that takes this story to a whole new level. The girl reportedly crossed this road, Sunset Boulevard in Rockland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes of traffic, traveling at a maximum 45 miles an hour.
Do you feel you're capable of something dangerous?
Yes.
How dangerous?
I'll kill someone.
You will kill someone?
Yeah.
Zoheb fears those thoughts of death and darkness that follow him will never go away.
Child care now! Child care now! Child care now!
With strollers as props and an intersection as the stage. Highly contagious, so to play it safe, we interviewed him over the phone. I stood on his lawn and he sat inside his Rancho Cordova home with his mother.
He had a cold for about a week before, but on Saturday the cough changed.
Go think about it tonight when you fall asleep.
It's a 7.7.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
It was an early morning in January of 2007.
The house caught fire.
My heart just broke.
9-year-old Annie Bin and her 7-year-old brother Kyle. A final kiss goodbye on a chilly December morning would be the last time Tiffany Matthews would ever see her fiancé.
It never crossed my mind that something bad had happened.
On the eve of the 49ers Seahawks game,
Pictures are all I really have.
Tiffany and her fiancé, Eric Garcia, left Colfax for San Francisco, but they split up when Eric went back for his wallet.
He goes back to get his wallet. It's snowing outside. What's going through your mind?
You never think something like this will ever happen.
No phone call, no text, no sign of 39-year-old Eric Garcia. So the search and rescue efforts began. But not quite the way Tiffany had hoped. At $1,000 an hour, the Placer County Sheriff's Office used their helicopter to search for Garcia for 2 hours. But this particular part of Placer County made it nearly impossible to spot anything on the ground.
You can't put a helicopter in the air because the canopies of the trees will be in the way. You can put a drone up.
There was one problem with that idea. The Placer County Sheriff's Office doesn't have a drone.
We try to avoid the D word.
So that's where Jim Bowers came in.
I'm there.
An artist who jumped at the opportunity to put goggles on and prepare his $1,800 DJI Phantom drone for takeoff, aiding Eric Garcia's family in their search efforts.
Put something in the air to where he can see aerial view of the ground below.
Jim spent nearly 3 full days flying his drone where a helicopter could not, between 0 and 400 feet beneath the trees. The simple fact is, technology alone enables a drone to go places a plane and a helicopter simply cannot go, like in and out of a tree line. And it also gives a pilot a unique perspective of the world right from a park bench. But law enforcement agencies across the Sacramento Valley aren't touching drones.
Would we want a drone? Would most agencies probably want a drone for, various reasons? Probably yes. Is it something they need right now?
Citing various reasons, some local law enforcement agencies told us drones are too costly, not needed, not wanted, and some even admitted they didn't know if they legally could.
I think it's because of the FAA regulations. I think it's stupid.
Actually, the FAA allows law enforcement agencies to use drones for search and rescue. But in order to fly, public agencies need prior approval online. They can take 60 days to get that okay, and only a few hundred in the nation get approved every year. As for emergency requests, those can get approved pretty quickly, but they're on a case-by-case basis.
I look at Jim and give him the credit.
I'm shooting you, shooting me.
As a hobbyist, Jim has no ties to a public agency, which means he doesn't need approval from the FAA to use his drone for search and rescue, although he still has to follow FAA regulations, and if he doesn't, they can step in.
I get this personal relationship going, which makes it even tougher if it's a sad outcome in the end.
Eric Garcia's body was not found until the snow melted, 8 days after he disappeared. He was found off of I-80 by a Placer County deputy on a motorcycle.
Would we consider it in the future? I'm sure we would look into it to see if it's got advantages for us. I mean, right now there's nothing on the table.
So as it stands, Jim is the go-to drone operator in the area.
I find this a blessing to come from my tragedy.
Since Garcia's death, Jim started a new volunteer online search and rescue network called SAR Drones, which connects enthusiasts around the world with nearby families in need, searching for a loved one.
If there is a single chance that you can use a drone to potentially save someone's life, why wouldn't you use it?
The answer to that, for now, is up in the air.
Virginia and Jennifer Bain make it a point to visit these cemetery plots when they can, to pay respects to family dearly missed, and to clean up.
Time of reflection, to remember the history and where we come from.
This is the St. Mary's Cemetery in Sacramento. Drawing water from their own well and with 60 acres here to care for, cemetery staff says watering during the day is the only way to keep things green. Virginia says it's a worthwhile use of the resource.
Oh, I don't think they should cut back. They probably have already, should probably water at nighttime.
Places like cemeteries and parks and golf courses don't have the same rules restricting when they can water that residential water users do.
But after Governor Brown announced mandatory water restrictions yesterday, they have to aim for at least a 25% reduction in H2O use too.
We went above and beyond for the whole department and met a 35% reduction in our water resources, and the golf courses and cemeteries are one of our divisions that have had to make that.
In 2014, the city of Sacramento exceeded the goal Governor Brown set for this year. A 35% cut is certainly no drop in the bucket, but Shannon Brown says if the mandatory cuts keep getting deeper, say 50%, the city will have to turn the spigots off altogether. As it stands, you can expect to see some spots of dry, dead grass in the city's recreation areas.
We've also adjusted our irrigation teams, so any irrigation call is an emergency. We're trying to have a very quick response time to anything that is broken.
This is a beautiful remembrance of a sad day.
He was a go-getter, and I miss him because he made working fun.
He needs to be honored.
Officer Kevin Ton died on January 15th, 2013, and is the first Galt police officer to be killed in the line of duty.
It was especially important to start a tradition, don't like that word, but to start something so that we can remember.
It's more beautiful than anything we really imagined. Of course, we hope nobody else gets added to that.
For the land of the free.
I was on the perimeter when he was shot that day. I said we need to do something for this officers.
K-9 Yarrow was Officer Kevin Ton's partner.
Thank them for being here. Their motto is...
He was visibly upset during the service.
Yarrow, I think, still misses Kevin. I every time I see him, I think he has a sad look in his eyes.
When we had the original funeral, the same thing happened. And the dogs, seems to be a sixth sense of something going on.
Hundreds of officers and residents came out to say goodbye and honor our heroes.
I love you. We dearly miss him, and we'll always love him. He'll never be forgotten.
He put himself out to the community.
We miss him.